Governor Andrew Cuomo is proposing some big cuts for the agencies that care for thousands of developmentally disabled New Yorkers, starting in April.
TV 1055's Long Island Bureau Chief Richard Rose is live in Melville with the details on this. Richard.
Yes, good evening, Dana. Don, Medicaid recently settled a big bill for more than $1 billion with New York State. That for overbilling the federal government for the care of the developmentally disabled. But it's blown a big hole in Governor Cuomo's new budget, so he's now proposing to slash $120 million in aid to the not-for-profit agencies that care for these most needy of citizens. Spin classes literally in full swing every day inside the UCP Community Center in Hauppauge. Whether it's music, computers, or art, the attentive staff uses every means they can to help people facing physical challenges express themselves. But these are exactly the kinds of programs that will face the state budget acts come April 1st.
It will mean the closure of programs. It potentially mean agencies going out of business, staff cuts, and downsizing.
UCP operates 30 group homes in Suffolk County and will lose $2 to $3 million in aid from the governor's proposed cut. That worries the aging parents of group home resident Michael Nason.
We always were able to bring him home on weekends, but we're getting too old now. We can't lift him, and that is a heartbreaker.
A spokesman for Governor Cuomo's office placed responsibility for the $120 million cutback on the federal government, but added, we're sensitive to possible effects of less federal funding for these services. These actions are necessary so we can move forward and put this dispute in the past. Lawmakers will struggle to replace the cuts because the governor says he must still slash hundreds of millions more from the budget, but State Senator John Flanagan says big cuts to the most needy are not fair.
So that $1 billion, it's real, and it is part of overbilling and litigation and compromise and settlement. But also, too, the governor's proposal, how to address that, is not equitable.
Senator Flanagan says he'll lobby to spread the cuts elsewhere. Meanwhile, the not-for-profit agencies say it's actually a much bigger cut because they will also lose another $120 million in matching federal funds. Now, by state law, budgets due April 1st. This will only complicate making that deadline. Live in our Long Island newsroom, Richard Rose, TV 1055.
Okay, Richard, thank you, and keep us posted on what happens to those families.